If the old saying were actually true, that sheer effort automatically equals wealth, then every nurse pulling a 12-hour night shift would be a millionaire. Pure physical labor doesn't scale. Effort alone does not guarantee success. To understand where we learned this broken formula, we have to look back at the classroom. The traditional education system wasn't designed to teach you to solve your own problems. It was built to suppress independent thinking and reward passive listening. Henry Ford and the architects of the Industrial Age needed compliant workers. The school system was specifically engineered to condition people to stand in line, wait for the bell, and perform repetitive tasks on an assembly line. When those same institutions teach business, they teach a curriculum of compliance. They hand you a rigid checklist, write a 20-page business plan, aggressively hoard all your equity, and find an older mentor to tell you exactly what to do. Building a company on those predictable rules creates a highly fragile structure. The moment a business like that hits actual market turbulence, the entire system fractures. That 20-page business plan forces you to map out a perfectly linear 5-year path in a market that changes every 5 days. It locks you into assumptions that are usually proven wrong by page 3. Instead of a rigid document, build a fluid mind map. It starts with a central node, your authentic hobby. From that core obsession, you branch outward, testing a podcast, an app, or a brand partnership, experimenting simultaneously to rapidly expand what works. This biological approach keeps you on your toes. In business, exactly like in a boxing ring, survival comes from the ability to slip, pivot, and adapt in real time. Most founders hoard their equity out of a deep paranoia that sharing the pie means losing control of the kitchen. A 52-48 equity split breeds resentment, making partners feel undervalued. A true 50-50 split creates perfect equilibrium. Holding 50% doesn't surrender decision-making. You control the company through the shareholder agreement, not a microscopic stock majority. When you extend that shared equity to your core employees, the entire cultural dynamic of the office shifts. You stop dragging resistant workers through their daily tasks, and instead, you align a team of owners around a unified purpose. Sharing power only works if you demand excellence in return. This brings us to the ultimate test of a leader, the 7 and 8 rule. 1s and 2s get fired easily. The danger is 7s and 8s, the people who are just okay. If you lack the courage to fire your average performers, your superstars will realize that mediocrity is tolerated. They will leave. Holding on to all of your equity while tolerating an average team guarantees you will own 100% of a failure. Sharing your power and ruthlessly cutting dead weight creates an operation that competitors cannot touch. Scaling at operation requires one final, deeply counterintuitive weapon. You have to actively delay your own gratification. In its early years, Facebook refused to charge its users. They didn't run ads for nearly a decade. They relentlessly prioritized building massive user value and a flawless network long before they ever asked for $1. Resisting the desperate urge for an immediate payoff builds a structural advantage. You create a massive, loyal community that serves as an economic moat your competitors simply cannot cross. Instead of using aggressive sales tactics to push technical specs, you sell the sizzle, not the steak. When Apple launched the iPhone, they didn't lead with processor speeds. They sold the idea of placing the entire internet in your pocket. The traditional textbook business is an exhausting grind of daily management and short-term survival that eventually shatters under its own rigidity. A purpose-driven brand acts like a living, breathing organism. Discarding the rigid rules of the factory-era school system yields a much higher return than simple profit margins. It provides the architectural blueprint for building a self-sustaining system that eventually grants you absolute freedom over your own destiny.